I sat on the porch steps and watched him work. The yard had gone wild since June left burdock crowding the fence line, grass up to my shins. He moved methodically, clipping edges before tackling the lawn, a man who believed in order. I liked that about him. It felt professional. Distant, June was at her father's mother's for the week. The house without her had a different kind of quiet, not peaceful, just empty in a way that made me notice the small sounds, the refrigerator cycling on, the creak of floorboards upstairs, my own breathing when I remembered to hear it. The man finished trimming and killed the engine on his mower. Walked toward me, not fast, not slow. His face was ordinary, 40s, sun-lined. The kind of face you don't remember after they leave. Ma'am, he stopped a few feet back. Is anyone else in the house right now? The question was so strange I almost smiled. No. Why? He didn't answer immediately. His eyes went past me to the windows to nothing. His jaw worked like he was testing a sentence before speaking it. I felt something tighten in my chest. I hear a child crying, he said, from your basement, and it's not a TV. The words sat between us. I opened my mouth to explain that there was no child, that June was away, that the basement was just storage, old furniture, boxes I hadn't unpacked. Explain that he must have heard something else. Pipes, the neighbor's kid, anything. But he was already stepping back, already pulling out his phone. I'm sorry, he said, and he meant it. That's what I remember most, how sorry he looked. Like he was about to do something he couldn't undo. I went inside. The first call came while I was standing in the kitchen with no memory of walking there. A woman's voice, calm, asking questions I answered without thinking. Yes, I lived alone. Yes, my daughter was away. No, no one should be in the basement. No, I hadn't heard anything, she thanked me, said someone would call back. The second call was a man asking the same questions in a different order. The third, a woman who told me to stay where I was. The fourth, fifth, sixth, they blurred into a single voice repeating, we're sending someone, we're sending someone. The seventh call I didn't answer. I watched the phone ring on the counter. Watched it stop. I went to the basement door. For 3 years I hadn't opened it without preparing myself, without waiting for the wave. But now I pressed my palm flat against the wood and leaned in and listened. Nothing, just the house sounds, the empty sounds. I don't know how long I stood there. Long enough for the light through the window to change. Long enough to remember the first month after the accident, how I'd wake at night certain I heard her crying, how I'd walk room to room before the remembering hit. Long enough to wonder if grief could press itself into walls, into foundation concrete, into the listening air. The knock came steady and official. 2 of them, a man and a woman, their faces arranged into professional sympathy. They asked to see the basement. I said yes. I led them down the stairs, turned on the light. The room was exactly as I'd left it after the last time I couldn't stay away. Her crib, still assembled because taking it apart felt like another death. The mobile I'd hung but never seen her see. A box of clothes I'd washed and folded and never given away. A chair I sat in sometimes in the dark, holding nothing. The woman officer looked at the man officer. The man officer looked at me. When did your daughter? She stopped, chose a different word. When did you lose her? 3 years ago. My voice was steady. She was stillborn. They didn't speak for a moment. The room held its own quiet. Ma'am, the man said gentler now. We'll still need to file a report. The call came in. We had to respond. But he looked at the crib, at the mobile, at everything I couldn't let go. I understand. They left after a few more questions, professional to the end. I sat in the chair in the basement and thought about the yard man, about what he heard, about what I'd told no one, that some nights still I thought I heard her too, not crying, just breathing, soft, there and not there. Tomorrow June comes home. She'll ask why the yard is half finished and why I look the way I look. I'll tell her some version of the truth. Not all of it, some. But for now, I sit in the basement and wait for the sounds that aren't there, the ones that are, the ones that will follow me upstairs into morning, into whatever comes after they know,